Hello guys, it's been a month since the last video. I took some time off because, as you know, I'm not a professional YouTuber and sports betting is not what I do for a living. I try to minimize anything that occupies much of my time and does not give me enough value in my life, which is similar to how sports betting works. Anyway, now I'm back and today I'm going to talk mostly for those that have watched and spent time on my videos and want to take their accumulated knowledge one step further. And in the end, I will refer on my future actions regarding the channel. So, professional sports betting on steroids. What do I mean by that? As I mentioned in the past, from my point of view, there are three ways someone can use in order for him to be successful in betting. The first one is the most common but the harder to achieve. I mean play singles, and the only goal is to have a hit rate bigger than the bookmaker's odds. If you can do this, then it doesn't matter if you use flat stakes, Kelly's criterion, or my preferable one, ratcheting, you're gonna be winning over the long run. But there is a big but. You need to have a verified model because intuition is not working. And you need to accept that there will be months or even years that you may not have profit. I demonstrated this method to you by sharing picks through a Google Sheet that I shared that made 84% profit in 84 days. Let's check a bit the Excel file. So it was 83.60 units of profit in 84 days. So then I made a second model and tried to find the optimal value, mostly in football matches. We can check the results of the model as well. It's this one over here. So for 2 weeks, this gives me 842 bets and 36 units of profits. So you can see 842 bets, 36.68 units of profit in 20 days. So we had two different models, same principles, similar success. I was really glad when some of you used my videos, created your models, and showed me similar profits as well. So this is my goal for the future, to create a community with different models, discussing about flows and results, grow as bettors, have fun, and most of all make money. Before that, if we go back to the presentation, so before that, I showed you my aggressive progressive betting method, which I call FS, ACA forward step. This is based on betting parlays of 2 with total odds of around 2.6. We can check also the initial Excel file that I shared. So if you follow some kind of progression betting, rely solely on a verified AI algorithm that can find matches with over 65% probability, and then use a calculated scenario of longest losing streak based on hit rate percentage. And of course, the implementation of DMM option over here, that stands for depth management mode, which splits target profit into 4 equal pieces and chases each piece at a time. I did show you step by step each bet by recording every bet in Bet365 and explaining why I did every move. So I doubled 2 times in a row, or let's say I quadrupled my bankroll in 60 days. And you can see over here, the first round and the second round. If you go back to the playlist in my channel, you will be able to find each video and understand how I did it. So I was really glad when some of you tried to build and actually did it, this Excel sheet that calculates each FS, because this is the base of the system. So for those of you that are still here through the beginning of the journey, I'm going to describe the method that I am using right now, which is a combination of the previous two, but not that aggressive and doesn't require bigger hit rate. So doesn't require bigger hit rate than the odds percentage in order to be profitable. I like to call it UBM, that stands for Ultimate Betting Method, and it reminds me sports betting but on steroids. Okay, and why do I say sports betting but on steroids? Okay, so imagine that we start with a match that has odds 190. So we put the first one, odd one, here. And in reality, it's like playing singles. And this is the first try of the singles. Then we can play one or even two, three matches. So I use minimum 3 to 5 matches. So what does this make? It takes, let's say that we start with 100 units and we have a target 1.28% of our initial bankroll. This will be the target. So the amount that we're gonna stake, and we're going to divide into many matches. I say minimum 3, maximum 5. The amount of money that we're gonna stake is depending on the target that we want. So let's imagine that we play only 3 matches and we win the first match over here. You see that the current bankroll right now is 100.43. So the total profit up to now is 43. If we hadn't played those two and we were only on this match, we would say, okay, we have a hit, then we need to start over. And then we go here, and instead of 100, we would write 100.43. So let's go to our example and say that we also have a second match. If we win the second match, right now we have 100.86. So we have a third match as well, and imagine that we lose the third match. So here we see that the total profit is 0.38 because it's the sum of those three. We're still over the initial, the starting bankroll. So it still says, okay, you can use this 100.38. You didn't reach the goal, the target goal that you have, but you're still over the initial bankroll. So you can just use this 100.38 and continue. So what we do, we put here 100.38 and we delete all those and we start a new series of bets. Let's imagine that we lose 2 of those 3. So right now we're minus 0.52. So you can see here that the next batch of games will have another target profit. It will be 102.58. So it's not going to be, right now we have 99.48 because we lost. We had 100 minus 0.52, so we have 99.48. So imagine that this is how it goes. We lose that, then we have a new target profit. So our target should be 2.58 plus 52. So let's imagine that we have 3 matches again, 198. So the software tells us that we should bet 1.15 to each match. So if we win a match, a second match, and then we lose the third, we see over here that we have a profit 0.92 over here. And in total, we started with 100. After we lost the first 3 matches, the starting backroll was 19.48. And after the 92, the 2 of the 3 wins, we have 100.40, which is over 100. So it says hit, start over. So we take this 100.40, we put it here, we delete all those, and we start over with the bank 140. Let's say that we win all 3. We have this goal over here, 102.58. But let's imagine that we lose 2 bets. So our current bankroll is 98.21 right now, because we had 100, we lost 0.52, and then we lost 1.27. So then we do exactly the same thing. We grow the target profit, and it becomes 103.90. So what is this in reality? Is the previous number multiplied by 1.28%. So this is our target profit for the next month. And then we do the same thing for this column over here. But if we lose that, then we don't raise the target profit. We follow the same profit. So we raise the first time, the second, and the third, and then I follow. This is what I'm doing because I don't want to go up and up all the time and then bet more and more. I use the same target profit. So let's go and see the example. If at any given step, if we have a hit rate of more than 50%, we're gonna be profitable. So what this does, it doesn't tell you that in total you should have a hit rate bigger than the odds that you play. It tells you that at any time, if you have a hit rate, let's say of a badge of 5, if I get it here, of a badge of 5, I have 3 out of 5, or let's say 4 out of 5, I'm gonna have my bank grown. So let's go to the example again. So I copy all those in here, and you see that I had to bet 2.11, 2.11 everywhere, and this is my bankroll over here. Let's say I win 2 of those. You see that I have 99.9. Even if I have 2 over here, I didn't reach my initial bankroll. I'm still over, so I'm under. So I have minus in my bankroll 0.10 up to now. So if I was supposed to win 3 of those, then it was gonna be perfect. But I only won 2 of those. So I continue with that. So let's go back again over here and see what's happening. So let's say I win 2 out of 3 again, and my bankroll right now is 101.08, which is bigger than 100. So this tells me that it's a hit, and then I can start over. Even though I had 50% over here, the average odds were 190. If I had 3 wins, I would be 103. If I had 1 win only, I would be minus 98, and I would continue. It would go up and down, but generally, once you get a good percentage, then you have immediately a profit. So for me, this is the best way to combine everything, because you combine, you don't need 2 out of 2 wins or 3 out of 3 or whatever. You just need a hit rate, and you don't need a hit rate on the total games that you play. You just need a good hit rate on the last 2 tries. This is how it goes. And this 15 that I have like 15 steps, but those 15 steps, they can be 30 steps, 40 steps, it doesn't matter, because it goes up and down. So this is like starting over. If I had, let's say, if I hadn't played this, you see that I have 99.9, so it's only 0.10 the investment over here. So this is how it goes. It doesn't matter if you're on the 15th step, you still may gonna be playing for minimal effort, and you don't need to play doubles or trebles. You just play singles. So you combine singles by just every time raising a bit your stakes. You don't want to have the same stakes all the time, or 2% of your bankroll, or you just raise a bit, not too much, and you take advantage of each bet. If you win one bet, then you make profit. It's not like I lost one bet and I lost the treble. No, you have some profit, and you don't need to have 3 wins or 2 wins. You need to have a certain hit rate. And let's say that we play 5 matches. Let's do this test with 5 matches. Okay, so let's imagine that we won only one over here. So we're minus 0.88. We lost only one, we won only one over here. So we're minus 2.39. And here we won 2 out of 3. Minus 1.99. So we started with 100, and right now we have 94.81. So let's see what's happening. We win 1, and let's say we lose all those. So if we win 1, we're minus 88.55. If we win 2, we have 92.39. So we're minus 7. If we win 3 of those, this is what we won, we start winning on this batch, but not enough to surpass the 100. We're 96.23. But if we have another batch over here with 3, we're going to surpass it. But let's say at this over here we have 4. So when we're at 4 wins out of 5, we're over 100, and we can start over. So we have 0.6 units profit. But let's say we lose this, and let's say that we have the exact same scenario on the next over here. So you see that we bet less because we have a profit on the previous batch. So here you can see we had the exact same scenario, 3 wins as we have there, and we won 1.19. We're still not over 100, but we still have a profit. If we have 4 over here, we're over 100. So we still have a profit here. So let's go back. Let's imagine that we lose that. And you go to another batch over here, or another batch over here. Let's say that we lose that and that. Here we won 4. We're still not over 100. Okay, so let's have a scenario. Let's lose those. Let's continue. Let's continue. You see that I have many losses, but I'm still on track. It's like 94. I'm not betting 20% of my bankroll or whatever. So let's say I have at any time I have 4. When at any time I have 4 out of 5, I am over 100. So you don't need to be successful all the time. You just need 1 or 2 batches to to win. So at any time, even if I have lost all those, which is very rare, like 1 out of 5 all the time, you're still gonna be see over here, you're still gonna be as you can see, you're still gonna be like 50% on your bankroll, but this is not an actual scenario. But still, if you have once 4 out of 5, or let's say 5, immediately you come back. If you have 4 out of 5, you can have another similar over here, 2 times 4 out of 5, and we're back on track. So this is how it goes. You just raise a bit your stakes according to the loss that you have by that time. So what are the plans for the future? I'm gonna create another video. I will call it sports betting algorithm, but on steroids again. And it will be about how to boost your AI algorithm for optimal results. So how we can turn weaker learners into powerful ones by using certain boosting methods. And I will also show some publications regarding that. Then I will make another video with the explanation of how to build the same tracker in Excel that I use for everything. And I think this is the best, the most handy one for me. Then, when we be about 500 subscribers, I'm gonna share the FS progressive betting method sheet for those of you that have already a model that they trust and want to use this betting progressive method. Then I'm also gonna work on creating a PDF. It will be a PDF manual on how to build your first AI algorithm. So it will be how you can start, and then you can populate it with more features and everything. But this will be the base. And then in the future, for those that I see that they spend time on it and they have the knowledge that I think you should have, I will share my picks. But what picks? The picks that are going to be used for this ultimate betting method, the one that I'm currently using. This will be in the form of Google Sheet, and all the picks that will be there. The goal will be not to have the value, not to find the value. Of course, the hit rate will be bigger than the odds, so there will be value there, but we are not striving for the optimal value. It will be picks that will have more probabilities to happen. So they will be picks more than 50% with certain criteria in order to be able to use the last ultimate betting method that I showed you at this video. So good luck. See you on next video.